Coming up on Ladies First, the $1 trillion package finally passes. We'll tell you what's in it.
And Prince Charles joins the list of celebrities to test positive for the COVID-19 virus. We're going to talk about that and so much more right here on Ladies First.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ladies First on BNC. We've got the latest news, entertainment, fashion, and much more for you. I'm Laverne McGee.
And I'm Jane Marks, and we'll also have lots of tips to stay safe and healthy. We're so glad that you're joining us today on Wednesday.
Well, let's start by getting you caught up on the latest information on COVID-19. The global death toll has now passed 20,000. A quarter of the world is living under some form of lockdown. Meanwhile, the White House says it has reached a deal with Congress for a stimulus package to help jolt the struggling economy as the coronavirus pandemic continues. Days of marathon negotiations have resulted in a $2 trillion proposal, one of the most expensive and far-reaching measures in the history of Congress. While full details have yet to be released, the breakdown looks like this: $250 billion for direct payments to individuals and families, $350 billion in small business loans, $250 billion in unemployment insurance benefits, and $500 billion in loans for distressed companies. President Donald Trump has declared that a major disaster exists in the state of Florida and has ordered federal assistance to help state, tribal, and local recovery efforts in the areas affected by COVID-19. According to a White House press release, the president's action makes federal funding available for crisis counseling for affected people throughout the state. The federal funding is also accessible to state, tribal, and eligible local governments and certain private nonprofit organizations for emergency protective measures, including direct federal assistance for all areas in the state impacted by COVID-19. So a whole lot happening today, Jane, as you can see right here in the U.S. It looks like there's finally going to be some relief for people, both on Main Street and Wall Street, it looks like.
It looks like that. You know, I know one of the things that struck me about this whole experience is that so many families live from paycheck to paycheck. And so for some, it not only means meals lost, it means, you know, place and space, and that you don't think about us, you know, as a whole nation when we think about us as a group, and that most people are surviving nicely because we're supposed to be the country that has that all together. But when we think about the sheer number of families who are going to, without question, are going to fail to thrive without some support, I'm so happy that everyone is coming together and making sure that we do what we can for everyone in our country. So I'm happy about this.
Absolutely. You know, what's happening now is we're seeing within the world, we're seeing two different schools of thought. We're seeing people who are locking down, taking extreme precautions, and then we're seeing the United States, what's happening here, where President Trump is saying he wants it to go back to business as usual, hopefully by Easter. So what's happening is people are upset about that, saying that, you know, people's lives are at stake here. And there's a lot of chatter on social media where people are saying that, you know, people are going to die just to make sure that the stock market doesn't crash and to make sure that Wall Street continues rolling. So, you know, the thing that's... Welcome back, everyone, to Ladies First. Well, another stay-at-home concert is here to help your self-quarantine cabin fever. Elton John is set to MC Fox Presents the iHeart Living Room Concert for America, a music event to help fight the spread of coronavirus. The hour-long special will air commercial-free on Sunday on Fox. This Sunday's virtual concert will feature performances by Billie Eilish, Alicia Keys, Backstreet Boys, Mariah Carey, Green Day's Billie Joe Armstrong, and Tim McGraw, all of whom will perform from their homes using a mix of personal cell phones, cameras, and professional audio equipment. So there you have it. Lots of entertainment for you. No need to get worried if you're indoors and you can't go out and hang out like you used to. This is your chance to now get caught up. You're going to see these people's living rooms, bedrooms, wherever, you know, see them in their home, which you normally don't get to see. So I'm actually kind of excited about that.
Now he is doing this in support. He's going to use the proceeds to do what? Do we know what he's going to use the proceeds for?
The proceeds go to trying to defeat coronavirus.
Okay.
So it doesn't say specifically, but of course we're still looking for a vaccine. We still need testing kits, supplies, that kind of thing. So I would imagine it would go to one of those.
Well, so many of these are on the ground. You know me, I like the let's give the money to the local communities. And so I was just curious because he's such a sensitive person.
Yeah, iconic. I mean, it's just amazing. All of these, super huge celebrities. I mean, Elton John, let's face
Billie
it.
Eilish.
Billie Eilish, she's all of her beautiful 17 years of age. Poor girl, what a way to become, part of this global thing. She's so young and has this huge celebrity status, and now being called upon and volunteering to help the efforts. That's so wonderful. And working with an icon, a legend like Elton John, he's in his 70s and has lived a full life and has spent, some good and exciting times, through the 80s and 90s and whatnot when he was hugely popular. This is an interesting time where you see these celebrities from different countries and different types of music. We've got a country singer, a pop singer, different age range, everybody coming together to just try and do whatever we can to try and find ways to help the people, the healthcare providers, the doctors, the nurses who really are the heroes of this whole thing, who need medical supplies, and of course all the people who work in the grocery stores and the clerks who all are staying in the workforce to make sure that we all get our groceries and our toilet paper that everybody wants. So this concert is going to be a way to raise money for that.
Well,
Welcome back to Ladies First. We're going to get you caught up on today's financial news. That was the sound of the closing bell. Stocks closed mostly higher at today's closing bell. It's the first back-to-back gain in weeks and comes after Congress agreed to a deal on the economic relief bill, easing investors' fears. The Nasdaq Composite didn't manage to hold on to its gains and ended down 0.5%. As stocks settle after the trading day, levels might still change slightly.